Good morning, good afternoon, or good night, and welcome to Command Power, the show in which we discuss all things Magic the Gathering with a focus on Commander.
And welcome to another episode of our card spotlight series in which I highlight a card that I think should see more play in Commander. But before that, just a quick reminder to click subscribe if you enjoy my videos. We're well on our way to 1 million subscribers and your support means everything to me. And today we're talking about Erestor of the Council. For 1 colorless, 1 green, and 1 blue. It's a legendary creature, elf, noble, 2/4 with whenever players finish voting, each opponent who voted for a choice you voted for creates a treasure token. Use Scry X, where X is the number of opponents who voted for a choice you didn't vote for. Draw a card. So this is obviously an incredibly narrow card that's only going to be played in voting decks, but I think it does a lot of interesting things for those decks. For a start, a 2/4 for 3 mana is not bad. Those decks tend to be slow, so having this kind of chunky creature that can gum up the board is pretty solid. I think this is interesting as a commander or in the 99 to be honest, and my analysis of it doesn't vary too much depending on whether it's a commander or in the 99. So to start off, this makes your voting very powerful because you're always going to be drawing a card. But the good thing about it is it does give your opponents some resources, which would normally be a downside, but since you want this to stick around as much as possible, giving your opponents some stuff means that they're less likely to remove it, which is good because that means that we can get to draw those sweet cards over and over. In this Lord of the Rings Commander set, there are a few voting effects that are secret, and this works very interestingly with those secret effects because your opponents don't know exactly what you're going to be voting for, so they don't really know what they should be voting for if they want to get the treasure token. So this creates an interesting mini game where you try to mess with your opponents and maybe choose an option that isn't obviously the best one for you in order to mess with your opponents who might be trying to vote for the same thing that you voted for, to deny them treasures and so that you can scry some more cards. That's just one of the interesting uses of this kind of card. However, it's still very good with regular voting cards. Regular voting cards have had an issue in Commander because of the nature of the voting system. The information is freely available to everyone and you have to vote first, so everybody's going to see what you're voting. So what tends to happen with voting cards is that you always get the worst effect out of the bunch. Since there's 3 players to your 1, they're almost always going to vote for the thing that is less good for you in any given situation. This throws a spanner into that by making it so that your opponents want to vote for what you're voting for if they want to get that value. And if there's one thing that Magic players love, it's free value. Not only that, if they don't vote for what you voted for, you're actually getting to scry as well, so it really throws a lot of tension into the equation because your opponents have to balance the fact that they're giving you maybe a better effect out of the two with how much they want that treasure and want you not to scry. It really makes it a lot more interesting, and the decision making becomes a lot more nuanced and a lot more thought out rather than just let's all vote for what the worst outcome is for this player. Not only that, but since you're always drawing a card, you're basically always coming out ahead whenever you vote, and there's a lot of vote cards that have recently been added in this set, so this kind of works very well and makes it a very interesting card that fundamentally alters that archetype. It's a pity that it has green in it because otherwise it could go in the Sphinx Esper deck which votes, although it might make that deck too strong to be honest because that is a very powerful vote commander. In any case, I think this is a really cool voting commander, and if I ever make a voting deck, this will probably be at the helm. So there you have it. Those have been my thoughts on this new spoiler. What do you think about this card? Please let me know in the comment section below. I read all comments and respond to all of them too. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to click like or subscribe. It really helps the channel, and until next time, take care. Woo!